so we'll so
What's up, everybody? This is Dylan Albino. This is my channel, D Gaming Productions. Today we're going to be playing some Call of Duty Black Ops 3. It's going to be my first actual video I'm uploading, so I hope you guys like it. I'm going to throw in some music and hope you guys enjoy. Alright?
we'll probably save that for
Pela music starting.
CBCC. I have a cookie. I have a choco. Choco cookie. I have a cookie. I have a butter. Butter cookie. Choco cookie. Butter cookie. Cookie butter choco cookie. Yeah. 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 Cookie butter choco cookie.
Sasuga o Fari de gozaimasu.
Want to play?
Anytime you're ready.
Ready for action!
Okay, let's be honest, guys. When was the last time you washed your pants? Just think about it. Hey, clothes wearers, Trace here for D News. Some of us wash our clothes twice a week. Some of us wash them, well, let's say I wash them less. But is that bad? What health risk could there possibly be from wearing a t-shirt for the 20th time? It's fine. Well, human skin sheds around 500 million skin cells a day. Add in all the dirt, sweat, and oil that builds up on our skin, and you've got yourself a hotbed for bacteria to breed and multiply. But not all of these are bad. In fact, normal human skin is covered in hundreds of microbes. It's called a microbiome, including bacteria that may help protect you from diseases. We've talked about this a lot on D News. But there are some harmful bacteria that could get onto your clothes. A professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine found that many pathogens can remain on the surface of fabrics for long periods, depending on the strain and the viability of the fabric itself. E. coli, for example, can remain on fabrics for hours. Salmonella can last up to 24 weeks on fabric, and strains of fungi for several weeks as well. And Staphylococcus, which causes staph infections, has been found to survive for weeks or even months. Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, or MRSA, can be easily transferred from our skin to our clothes and towels and spread by sharing. Another offender is our dirty underwear. The average undergarment harbors 1/10 of a gram of fecal matter, which can carry a number of viruses and bacteria such as hepatitis A, norovirus, salmonella, and E. coli. I'm sure you're starting the washing machine right now, and maybe you should, because according to the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine again, bacteria begin to multiply the longer you wear your clothes without washing them. And if you give them enough time to build up, even your washing machine is going to have a hard time removing them. The thing is, scientific studies on how often you should wash clothing are thin on the ground, with many being funded by corporations with a vested interest in the outcome of the study. For example, a study done by a University of Arizona researcher, paid for by Clorox bleach, found bacteria from your laundry might spread through the washing machine during cleaning and end up on future loads of laundry. And another study done by the same researcher in 2007, and probably also funded by Clorox, found 92 to 99% of viruses were killed, but recommended bleaching the machine anyway. However, the CDC in the US and the National Health Services in England both recommend using simple heat to kill these bacteria and viruses. The NHS says to use water at a temperature of 60 Celsius, or 140 Fahrenheit, to kill bacteria. That would be the hot setting. And they suggest running the washing machine empty or with chemical disinfectant once a week to decontaminate it. And the CDC says to dry on hot for a long while to ensure some sterilization. More heat is better, but they also realize that can be a fire hazard. So Philip Tierno from New York University's School of Medicine says that while cooler temperatures could keep the bacteria living in the washing machine, drying clothes in the sun can kill bacteria with ultraviolet radiation. So there are options if you're worried. Although there could be a risk of infection with dirty laundry in your home, the International Scientific Forum on Home Hygiene says that the risks are probably less than if you touch a solid surface of food or have direct contact with someone else's skin. This is because pathogens can survive better on hard surfaces than on fabric, and because while we constantly touch the same hard surfaces, like door handles, we don't usually touch each other's clothing. Still, if you can't remember the last time your t-shirt saw the inside of a washing machine, maybe it's time to get on that. Do you guys have a science question about stuff around your house? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more D-News, and check out this video about why we even smell in the first place, because where else are your clothes gonna get that stank? It's gonna get that stank.
Guys, are you staying away from me because I smell? It's only been like 3 days, and I dry shampooed, I promise. Hey guys, I'm non-smelly Amy with you today on D-News, taking on a topic we've all dealt with one way or another. Gross, stinky body odor. Let's start with a basic fact. We all smell, and it's because of our skin. Our skin is our largest body organ, varying from person to person, but on average it's about 21 square feet of surface area. It's layered to protect our delicate organs from dangerous germs and bacteria, while also keeping in moisture, basically making it an excellent barrier between our internal selves and the outside world. And that barrier varies in its topography and texture. There are folds, valleys, little niches, and it's all home to a thriving ecosystem of bacteria. Some of the bacteria on your skin can cause nasty infections, but other bacteria actually fights off the bad microbes, keeping you healthy. And that in itself is a finely tuned system. Any disruption can cause skin disorders or infections. Skin also has loads and loads of sweat glands. One kind are called eccrine glands, and they're everywhere. These are the ones that continually bathe our skin in a salty, watery secretion known as sweat to cool us off. They can also release fluid that acidifies the skin, keeping the growth of microorganisms in check. Another kind of sweat glands are the apocrine glands. These are found mainly in notoriously sweaty and odorous areas like armpits and groins. They respond to adrenaline and emotional stress, secreting a milky fluid that's also thought to contain pheromones. So there's a lot of fluid going on with skin, but that's not the culprit of the stink. Sweat itself is actually odorless. The smell factor comes in because as we sweat, the moisture gets into all those skin folds and nooks and crannies where there's plenty of bacteria. And a moist, closed environment is a bacteria's happy place. They thrive in spots like armpits, eat compounds found in sweat, and produce molecules that we smell and know as body odor. And there's more to it. Diet can affect your unique odor. Foods high in sulfur like broccoli and cauliflower release compounds secreted in sweat that can make you smell worse, sort of like rancid butter. Meat also changes body odor. One study actually found that vegetarian men's sweat smells more appealing to women than their meat-eating brethren. Alcohol can seep out through your pores if you over-imbibe, making you smell, well, like a drunk. But let's say you have an average diet, don't drink too much, and lead a pretty standard lifestyle without engaging in especially sweaty activities. How long until you really start to noticeably stink? Well, it varies from person to person because no two people are the same. But a few days without showering, deodorant, or basic washing will probably start to get unpleasant for the people around you. But it's possible to push through the smell phase and get to a no-smell phase. Eventually, your body will settle into a happy arrangement of bacteria that keeps itself and your smell in check. Because really, we didn't adapt to need perfumes and deodorants and body lotions. It's social convention that tells us to manage our natural human smell. You know who doesn't stink? The team over at SourceFed. They do pop culture news and comedy, so it's like us, but faster and funnier. Click the link below to get your daily dose of the trending news.
Put it in, a website used by teachers to find papers and says that the likelihood of a 16-word match in just the coincidence is less than 1 in a trillion. Melania Speed had a 22% word match with Michelle Obama.
Which means that she did
definitely
nothing
copied
wrong.
She copied it.
And speaking of smelly, I've heard it smelled pretty bad on board the Apollo spacecraft during missions to the moon. Not surprising when you realize they were pooping and eating smelly things like tuna in that thing. If you want to know more about that, check out my own channel, Vintage Space, where I dig into all kinds of space science. We've all seen tuna that goes bad when left in the fridge too long. In Apollo 12's pure oxygen environment, it was possible that the tuna would go bad really quickly. Nobody wanted Dick Gordon getting food poisoning right around the time Apollo 12 reached the moon. Have you ever been aware of your own smell? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for a new episode of D News every day of the week.
Let's see if you learn your lesson this time. Let's get it on.
Whew! I'm perspiring like a pig. Should they even say that anymore?
Ugh. No, they do not. So gross.
Hey there, sweaters. Trace and Jackie here for D News. Welcome, Jackie.
Thanks. Deodorant. The bane of the absent-minded person's existence. How many times have you left the house and forgotten to put on deodorant? The antiperspirant deodorant market topped $18 billion last year. That's a lot of pits, including yours. But do you really know what you're slathering on your skin?
The first deodorant was patented in 1888 with a goal to help uptight Victorians stop worrying about their body odor. But the odor wasn't really their fault, it was bacteria. Let me back up though. On your skin, you have between 2 and 5 million sweat glands. They come in 2 flavors, eccrine and apocrine. Sweat is mostly water, but not entirely.
The eccrine glands excrete primarily H2O, but the apocrine glands, located on your scalp, in your crotch, and under your arms, put out a thicker fluid with fatty acids, urea, and ammonia, protein byproducts.
Once the sweat is on your skin, bacteria go to town on it, chomping and eating up all those proteins and pooping out stinky chemicals like trans-3-methyl-2-hexanoic acid, which is the main chemical that makes humans stank. Most animal funk is used to tell other animals different things. For example, dogs can be trained to smell low blood sugar in diabetics. People can tell what you've eaten by your sweat, and chemo signals can reveal emotions like if you're stressed or happy.
But at some point, we decided we wanted to cover up the sweaty, informational smell. Even before deodorants as we know them, people would perfume or cologne up to cover their distinctive odor.
The first deodorant, called Mum, is from the late 19th century, and it allegedly used zinc oxide, a byproduct of zinc smelting to control bacterial growth. Fewer bacteria, less smell.
Antiperspirants were also invented in the early 1900s and used alcohol and aluminum chloride. The alcohol would evaporate, leaving behind AlCl3, which, according to the American Chemical Society, would stop up those eccrine glands, cutting sweat production.
But remember, it's the apocrine glands that excrete the stinky bacteria buffet, which is why most products combine both antiperspirant and deodorant.
They plug the eccrine and keep the bacteria off the apocrine. But like anything else, there are consequences for messing with bacteria in our underarms.
Deodorants and antiperspirants control bacterial populations. Some contain the now enemy of the FDA, triclosan, an antibacterial agent that's helping cause the rise of superbugs.
Others contain preservatives called parabens, which, if they get into your bloodstream through razor nicks or other open cuts, have possible estrogen-like properties and are connected to breast cancer tumors.
All natural deodorants cover up the little buggers with essential oils, salts, or alum, but whether they work depends more on the person and their situation.
But before you say, you forgot, no. Antiperspirants themselves do not cause breast cancer. No, nope.
A study of nearly 1,600 people in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found no evidence whatsoever of antiperspirant or deodorant increasing the risk of breast cancer.
What they can do is alter your microbiome, the bacteria that live on us all, sometimes helping us live healthier lives. A study in PeerJ looked at the microbiome of a small number of people who use deodorants and antiperspirants. It found people who used antiperspirants were altering their armpit microbiome.
Once people stopped using antiperspirant or deodorant, the number of staphylococcal bacteria skyrocketed.
In comparison to those who didn't use any anti-Ps or deodes. I'm still working on that.
What does this mean? No idea. The study was ridiculously tiny, but it does show that daily hygiene can mess with our bacteria in unknown ways.
The researchers said, quote, "We have no idea what effect, if any, this has on our skin and on our health. Is it beneficial? Is it detrimental? We really don't know at this point. As you all like to say, more research is needed." The thing is, you don't actually need deodorant. Some people don't produce the chemical that bacteria eats to make smelly byproducts. And you'd never know if you're one of those people, unless you stop deodorizing.
Or if you have dry earwax. Of the 2% of the human population who don't have the gene for stinkiness, that same gene gives people wet earwax, so if you have dry, flaky earwax, you probably don't need to be wearing deodorant.
We go find a cotton swab.
Look, everyone wants to smell awesome, but what about pheromones? These incredible chemicals allegedly tell people all about you through the power of smell. This is assuming humans can sense pheromones at all, of course. Have I incited enough excitement and doubt? Click here to watch the video explaining it all. Pheromones are powerful chemical signals sent by one organism to trigger something specific in another, though this is usually males and females telling each other, "How you doing?" They can also do other things, though. For example, orchids signal pollinators and ants signal friend or foe. Are you one of those 2% who don't need deodorant?
Or do you just think you are? Have you asked your best friend?
Let us know down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more D News, and thanks for watching.
Also, tell us your thoughts over on Twitter or Facebook. I'm at Jackie Coppell, and he's
At Tracy Mendez.
Keep up the momentum!
How often do you take a shower? Every day? A couple times a week? Howdy folks, Trace here for D News. I come talk to you every day, but I don't shower every day because I don't like the dry, tight feeling of my skin. I don't have body odor, but I don't really use antiperspirant. I just use deodorant. Am I gross? I don't think so. Turns out I might be on the right track for overall human health. Back in the 1880s, bathing was becoming more popular, with many in high society choosing to bathe as often as once a week. After World War II, daily washing of your 2 square meters of skin became more popular, and today, some people shower multiple times a day. Is this necessary, or is this excessive? Anecdotally, a good friend of mine told me that she only shampoos her hair once a month because shampoo strips your hair of its natural oils. She says the monthly washing works for her, but it took time and effort to learn. And by the way, her hair looks amazing. When it comes to washing your skin, it's a similar idea. Everyone is different. However, all human skin is made of layers, and the extreme outermost layer of the epidermis is the stratum corneum. The stratum corneum is your body's first line of defense. It's made of skin cells coated in lipids from your body's 2 million sweat glands. It keeps bacterial and viral invaders out and moisture in. The skin also produces dermacidin, which is naturally antibiotic. Plus, living on the skin are helpful bacteria, fighting any bad invaders of their microcolonies. Yet another reason not to use antibacterial soap unless you've been around sick people. Showering, especially in hot water, will mess up this valuable part of your body's defenses. Hot water softens the lipids and undermines the natural oils, dermacidin, and your bacterial friends. Not only does this cause the skin to dry out, it can allow a path for invading cells. And Dr. Richard Gallo, chief of the dermatology division at UC San Diego, says showering too often can ruin the healthy balance of your skin. If that's not enough reason to explore bathing less frequently, a paper in Emerging Infectious Diseases says showering and bathing actually increases dispersal of skin bacteria into the air. This allows the spread of microcolonies from your skin onto other people. Surgeons are asked not to shower immediately before their shift as to keep their bacterium to themselves. Maybe instead of shirking the shower free, we should start snuggling up on them. Actually, there might be something to do that, guys. Pheromones and other natural scents are thought by some scientists to attract mates. So washing them away could be messing up your game, brah. Some of you might be thinking, but what about body odor? Science has no blanket rule for personal hygiene. Some people are more active, which requires more washing. Some people's bacterial profile makes their sweat smell more. Sweat actually has no odor on its own. Regardless, the best way to find out how often you should shower is to experiment. Try not washing your whole body, and instead use a washcloth or baby wipe on your underarms, your groin, and your feet, all areas with lots of sweat glands. See how your skin feels and explore other options for showering without soap, or use dry shampoo. Are you hitting the shower too much? Would you change your routine?